Good morning or good day and welcome to Real-Time Daily Trading Ideas. We have 5 days a week, 5 different traders. We will speak about trading ideas, strategies, market screening, maybe 1 or 2 questions from your side directly answered in our webinar. Our goal is quick and smart, so let's have a nice start like every day. And today it's Tuesday, 5th of June 2018. Welcome to the live webinar. We will start with a risk disclaimer. Forex and CFDs are leveraged products and can result in losses that exceed your deposits. If you are a starter, please start with a demo account and make yourself familiar with long trading, short trading, leverage trading, and your personal risk management. If you'd like to read the full risk disclaimer, just visit one of our web pages, for example, admiralmarkets.com, and you will find everything written down there. This is our scheme. On Monday, it's Jay's Day. On Tuesday, it's Paul's Day, like today. On Wednesday, it's Giancarlo's Day. On Thursday, it's Marco's Day. And on Friday, it's Dirk's Day, our leading day traders live every business day to the same time. This is me. My name is Jens. My English is made in Germany, so I'm the German guy. I'm talking from the Berlin office. We are a big international broker with over 18 country offices. So I'm not the main speaker, but the main speaker is today Paul. In a couple of seconds, he will take a part and we'll take a look to the markets with you. But before, of course, if you'd like to trade Forex and CFDs, you will get many benefits only with us. For example, best index offer of DAX 30 triple spread of just 0.8 points to the main trading hours. Check all them out on admiralmarkets.com. There you will find also how to contact us. You can call us, you can send us the email, or visit the other channels like YouTube or Facebook. Everything is also linked from admiralmarkets.com. There you will find also something about our regulatory background. And now it's time for Paul. Hi, good morning, good day, Paul. What's your view to the markets today?
Good morning, Jens. Good morning, everybody. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. Hope you can also see my screen. It's nice to be back. I've been away on holiday for 10 days. Good chance to refresh and recharge. And of course, as I was away, there was of course market turmoil with what had happened in Italy and Spain last week. So it had lots of implications on the euro, and we'll have a little look at that now. So as always, when you've been away, then you come back and you have to get back into your groove. You have to get back into into the way of doing your business, and this is one of the ways that having good routines, good processes can help you. So it becomes almost like an automatic process in terms of re-engaging with markets, finding your particular view and ideas based upon what's happened whilst you've been away. As I said, it's been a pretty interesting last 10 days, 2 weeks. I'm sure some of you have had some enjoyable trading experiences through that, and we'll have a look at what's the outcome and what can we do to turn that into trades for ourselves. So, here I am just looking at on the Admiral Markets Meta Trader 4 Supreme Edition here. Okay, and I just have profiles set up for the main currencies that I watch. This is the euro that we'll have there, and effectively I'm just looking at that to give me an idea of what's going on and where do I start to get interested. This I have here is the daily charts here. Okay, there's sort of the euro dollar, euro sterling, euro yen, euro Swissy, euro Aussie, euro CAD, and then euro Kiwi, and then the DAX here, which we're going to look at first. But what I'll have with that is I can just look at that on a daily chart and get an instant sort of view on what's been going on, and you can probably all see that yourselves. For the last, well, I'd say almost for the last 6 weeks, the euro has been a little bit of a whipping boy in terms of its. Everyone's been shorting that and shorting that quite strong, quite hard, and that's a theme we covered over the last few months in my own particular sessions. But that also has a knock-on impact on, right, well, if the euro has been going down, well, what happens with the DAX? And I'm going to look at that at a moment for one of our first trades of the day. One of the things about having a good little routine, a good little ability to check and go through your trades is it's not only important to work out the markets that are of interest to you, but you also want to have the markets that are of no interest to you at all. And here we have euro sterling at the moment. Okay, something that we've traded quite a lot this year, but at the moment we can see that on the daily chart. That's still just hanging around that 87.50 level. Okay, I thought we might sort of get a inverse head and shoulders and spring back up, but it's doing nothing at the moment. Okay, and part of that is because of the not surprisingly the knock-on impacts of Brexit. Okay, this week it's back in the news for all the wrong reasons. citizens, and there will be a vote in the UK on, I think it's the 11th or 12th of June, that will have a major impact. So that's actually going to just probably go sideways, until that vote goes through. So the reality is, I don't really want to be bothered and interested in sort of in trading that. Okay, when a market's like that, I'm not interested in doing that. I'm not interested in trading that. But so I have a look at, well, where can I get interest? Where can I start to have some interest on the market? And I know that a lot of people trade the DAX, and I'm particularly interested here. If I look at this on the weekly chart, if I just have a look at here on the weekly chart, what I've been seeing there as a weekly chart is, my mind is sort of drawn towards the fact is, is this possibly a very, very big picture head and shoulders pattern that is forming? So those of you who are joining for like the very first session, okay, or very new to trading, when I look at a chart here, I have very simple charts: green bullish candles, red bearish candles, a blue 20 period simple moving average, a red 50 simple moving average, and the green 200 simple moving average. And then I also draw on levels of support and resistance and particular patterns. And what I'm interested in there is looking at, on a big picture, is there a possibility that is a head and shoulders forming, simply off the back of some of the news that we've had over the last sort of week or two, that maybe send a few little shivers through the Eurozone. What I look at is that price rallied up here. Let's put my cursor on. Price has rallied up here, but sort of a week last Friday, we ended the week there with a real sort of bearish engulfing candle there. Okay, I would like to have seen it a little bit close a bit deeper down, okay, into the bar, but last week, okay, we had that move away there. Okay, we had back down towards that weekly 50, and I think we'll have a little spring off that. Okay, but the big picture, and those who've followed my sessions will know I try to look at big picture, big trades, then also sort of the smaller sort of intraday trades, and then maybe one or two things to keep a lookout, stuff that hasn't maybe set up today, but you can have a look at that over the next few days and weeks. And I'm looking at the DAX there, okay, on as a short-term trade. Okay, actually on a short-term trade, I'm a little bit on the bullish side for an intraday trade. Okay, I'm just looking that we have a little bit of a double bottom here. We've had this morning, we've had some real strong buying power into that, and if I go down to the 1 hour chart, okay, then I'm kind of interested that we've got above that daily 200 there, again, the hourly 200, and I'll be looking at, well, there's an opportunity for me to be a buyer off the back of this sort of double bottom here on a sort of a shorter term trade. So what I'm looking to do is, I see there's there's an inside bar there, a little bit of a doji there, and so I'm going to be looking to sort of trade the breakout off from that if that occurs. So I'm going to be using the mini terminal on the Admiral Supreme Edition. Every time I talk about how great it is as a tool to basically to be able to use to trade there, I'm looking to sort of looking to get long around about sort of 12,836, okay, with my stop there just beneath the low of that inside bar there. Okay, so I'm just going to be looking there around with stop there around about 12,796. Okay, so and with a target back up towards the sort of 12,900 zone. Okay, just back up towards that level, which has been a pretty interesting and pretty strong level there. Okay, so the trade's on there as an intraday trade. Okay, so I'm risking around about 40 ticks for a possible sort of 60 ticks of profit. It's about 1.5 hour reward to risk. That's acceptable to me. I like bigger. I generally like big ones, but I think we'll see on a short-term basis. I think we might see a little bit of bullishness on DAX, and if so, then I want to look to be able to sort of work with that. So there you go for the DAX. And, as I said, we'll be looking at the euro, but and as I said, you can see the euro has had a tough 6 weeks, but it's been a great 6 weeks if you've been short in that market, and that's what we've seen. And now I look at that and say, well, is there a chance that maybe that overselling is coming to an end? Are we going to take a little breather? Somebody somewhere always wants to take profits. Okay, that's what you have to realize. So even after a great downtrend like this one in euro against Aussie dollar, it's not unusual to see an element of a bounce, of a little retrace. Okay, somebody somewhere will be taking profits. So if I look at euro Aussie there, once again on the longer term, I look at that, and that's, I'd still be very bearish for that on the sort of longer term at the moment. But then as I start to go down, okay, and I start to look at the 4-hourly candle, I start to look at this and think, well, could this be the start of an inverse head and shoulders being built here? Okay, is there an opportunity that what we might see is a kind of a move up, a move back down? Okay, before we take a move up. I just look at that and start to say, is that a possible scenario that I can play? And when I look at the 1-hourly chart in the EURUSD, and once again I see it's almost like we've had a little mini inverse head and shoulders there on the 1-hour chart, and I kind of like that. It's almost like a sort of a bottoming formation. You start to think, is this going to become like a cup and handle formation? Okay, with a sort of a cup here. Let's draw this in a little bit, just to draw a little cup in there, okay, with the handle, and could that handle provide me with a little bit of an opportunity just for a sort of a shorter term intraday trade, maybe a bit of a swing trade for the next few hours and perhaps day or so. So I'd be interested here being a buyer around about the sort of 53.15 mark, okay, with a stop loss down, or sort of down towards the sort of 52.85 level. Okay, that's what I'll be looking at, with my target sort of up towards around about the sort of that day where that hourly 200 is, around about the sort of 54.05, 54.10. I'd keep an eye on that. So there, once again, I'm risking around about sort of 30 pips for about sort of 95 pips of profit. There's a sort of a 3-to-1 trade. So I'm happy with that. I think, as I said, we've had some great selling off, but nothing ever lasts forever. We have a little bounce, okay, and I wonder whether we'll get to that. And so if price falls back towards that level, I'll be a buyer, and then with perhaps a move up there towards around about that 154 level. Okay, so there's another little opportunity for you to take a look at, and I'll just do one more, and then I'll answer a couple of questions for you all. So let's have a look at one of the big ones, okay, the euro dollar. Okay, for months we were talking about how it was rolling over from 125. You watched me talk about that and trades from there, and you can see that yourself. That's been just a glorious downtrend. Okay, it's been a lovely move that has been accelerated by geopolitical events that have occurred. We've had this bounce off around about 115 last week again. Pretty strong bounce there, really. Somebody somewhere was buying euro at 115 or getting off their dollar longs. Okay, somebody somewhere is always taking profit. So then I start to look at, well, okay, is there an opportunity for a little bounce, a little retrace? Could this be an opportunity where to take a little bit of a longer position on the euro dollar if that euro selling is kind of running out of steam? So if I go down to sort of the smaller time frames there, I'm kind of intrigued once again to see. We had a real push down here to that 115, but you can see there's lots of wicks there, and we really bounced off that sort of 115 zone. We really sprung away from it, and now we're in a little bit of a knocking around about range between about 116.50, 117.30, and I'd be kind of interested to see once again, could price sort of fall down a little bit, form what would be now a higher low as part of a move maybe up to the upside, a little bit of a sort of a retrace after the aggressive selling that we've seen. So once again, I'll have an order in here around about, I'd say about the sort of 116.20 is kind of where I'm interested in being a buyer. I'm going to have my stops. This is a bigger trade. It stops beneath those lows, so I'm going to be looking down towards the sort of kind of 114.95 area, and then what I might do is actually sort of have a look at sort of going quite way up towards that, sort of back towards that level around about 119. Okay, 119 would be where I'd be of interest, which is also just in front of that sort of 200 period moving average on the sort of the 4 hour there. So there I'm risking around about 120, 130 pips for around about possibly around about sort of 280 to 300 pips of profit. So it's a 2.3 odds to trade on that. So that's kind of a bit of a bigger, longer trade there. So there you go. There's something to there's three sort of quick trade opportunities on a sort of let's say a bigger scale and a shorter scale to look at that. I'm just looking to see the DAX as kind of as raced off there as kind of interesting to see. So I'd be keeping an eye on that. If there's a little bit of time to answer any questions, I'll happily do that, Jens, just for the last few minutes to help people with their own analysis.
Let's keep a closer look to oil. WTI is a wish from one live participant here.
Of course, yeah. Let's have a look. Let's bring up oil. Okay, so here we go. Let's bring it up. We've had a few trades here on oil. Let's go up to the weekly chart. I like a big picture guy. Okay, so what do I see here? We had this great trend here. Okay, super trend there. Okay, from the low 40s. Okay, the low 40s. And we were up there, high up there, way up into the 70s. Okay, and so from June of last year up until effectively June of this year, end of May, start of June this year, we had a great weekly uptrend. But what I'm interested to see is that, what I have here is, this is, it's a big key weekly reversal. Okay, price pushed to new highs, but closed. It really rolled over and collapsed and closed right down there on its lows. Okay, that's on when that happens on a weekly chart. It doesn't happen too often, but when it does, I take notice of it. All right, it's it's a significant. It might not necessarily say the end that trend is over, but I can assure you it means it's running out of steam. Okay, it's ready to take a breather. Okay, and a lot of that oil a lot of the oil appreciation that we saw in the price of oil, a lot of that had geopolitical impacts because of what we were seeing going on in the world in terms of Syria, Iraq, Iran, Saudi, and other parts of the world. But as those geopolitical tensions start to wane a little bit, well, then of course that has a knock-on impact into oil. The sentiment about oil. When for those of you new to trading, when people are thinking there's going to be conflict and strife in the world, especially in the Middle East, well, then that invariably sort of fuels a price rise in oil. But of course, when that then dies down, then invariably we start to see the oil price fall away. So I would be looking at that there, okay, as a sort of a shorter term trader. What I'd be looking to do is, as we can see, if we go down to that 4-hour chart, it rolled over nicely. We pulled back here, okay, and we look to to trade that down. I'd now be looking to see, will it move back? Will it pull back to around about that $66 level? And then I'd be interested to see, how does price react when it gets there? Back up towards that 20-period moving average, back up to where we had those kind of previous, support becomes resistance, back up to 66. Then I'd be interested in being, if we get sort of, bearish engulfing or a nice bearish pin bar, then I'd be looking to be a seller in that particular area. So I hope that helps, gives you a little bit of insight on oil. Do we have time for any more questions, Jens?
Oh, I didn't push the button for the microphone. Sorry. I already spoke, but you couldn't hear me. So another wish, and we have 1 or 2 minutes more, is British pound, Japanese yen. GBP, Japanese yen, please.
British pound, Japanese yen. Absolutely, very happy, very happy. It's been kind of an interesting one. British pound, Japanese yen. It's we've had some interesting moves, as you well know. Okay, on sterling, but what we've seen is it's almost like being a here we go. We've had a little bit of a change about, okay, in the sense that we had a lot of sterling strength and then a little bit of yen weakness. But what we saw was that for the last 2 months we've seen mostly sort of sterling weakness and yen strength. But what we have as you can see, there's been reactions to that. Traders know that price never moves in a straight line. It always moves in a zigzag, and that's what we have at the moment. So what I'll be looking at here is just drawing in sort of counter trend lines there. Is I'd be keeping an eye on that, looking at is this a possible flag, a bearish flag pattern forming, in which case any break of that sort of trend line there, let's bring it down here, okay, let's bring the cursor around, any sort of we'll get a move down there right to the back down, break that trend line down towards that kind of 145.50 level beneath there, then I'd be looking to be another seller, okay, of the pound yen beneath the broken trend line, beneath the sort of the 50-period moving average on the 4-hour chart there, okay. That's what I'd be sitting and waiting to watch. But it may well also drift its way up to that sort of 200 zone there, okay. So the 200 on the 4-hourly, but that will be watching that trend line, see if it holds, or if it breaks. If it holds, you'd be bullish, but if it breaks, then I'd be looking to be a seller of pound against the yens.
That's it for now. Our goal is quick and smart, but for that daily. Tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow is a new day trader. Tomorrow is Wednesday, so Giancarlo will lead you through the markets. Thanks for now. If you'd like to watch this video or webinar again, a couple of hours later, it will be available on our YouTube channel. Thanks to Paul. Tomorrow, looking forward to see you again with Giancarlo. All the time, good trades and greetings from Berlin office. Bye-bye.